um, so I wanted to talk about the latest topic, which is the topic about Chris Brown and his. I don't know if it's a preference that he has or. Oh, I have so much to say. I don't even know where to begin. Well, first off, everyone has to understand that Chris Brown grew up in Virginia and then he moved to California. And the lifestyle in those states and in similar states, because I know in that area and some areas in the South and stuff like that, they do idolize women who have a certain look in terms of the hair, the complexion, and that sort of thing. So I'm not surprised. I don't know why people get upset. If you have a preference, you have a preference. And I think in 2019, if you shouldn't deny yourself from what you I'm sorry, deny yourself from the things that you want, because are you going to live your life miserably? No. If you're black and you like white people, you're a black woman, you like white men, or you're a black man and you like white women, or anything in between, Asian, Latin, or anything in there, at this time you have a choice. No one is going to stop you from doing what you want to do, but don't criticize other people for making the choices that they make. So don't expect that if you as a black person like someone that's not black, don't expect that you're gonna have that like black people in reserve. Because I kind of feel like black men come out here and then they sleep with all these races, have children with all these different races, do all these things and desire them, but they put black women on the back burner, like, okay, just in case things don't work out in these other areas with these other women, they can always default or fall back onto black women. The real issue is, when are black women going to say to themselves, I don't care what black men think anymore, and really take ownership over your life and say to yourself, listen, there's so many choices out here. As a woman, you don't have to be with a black man. There are all races that like black women. And you don't even have to get a man in America. You can go and get someone from Africa. If you're a black person and you like black men, you can go to the Caribbean. You can go to Africa. You can go and get, a black person from Europe or something. You don't have to stay in this country. And so many people are so focused on trying to stay in the States and get someone here. The way that people think here and the way that people think outside of the United States is totally different. You can meet a man who's more family oriented, who wants to provide for you and protect you and will truly love you outside of this country. Men in this country, they've been so exposed to so many things. Like, I feel like they don't appreciate anything that they have. And it's not just men, that's women, that's just being an American. You have everything in your hands. You have choices. And it's so funny because my teacher, because I'm taking some classes now. So my teacher is like, the problem with Americans is that we have too many choices. And when you have too many choices, then you're not gonna commit to anything. In this country, you can have any type of woman you want. You can have tall, thick, big, anything you want. You don't even have to decide. You could get it in any shades you want, from light to dark to anything. So it's like, when you have all these choices that you can pick, when you have all these choices where you can pick and choose what you want, you're not going to settle on anything. And that's just an American thing. That's not race thing. All races are like that. And some of the conditions that black people suffer with, or it goes to other races too. You think that that black people are the only ones that are single mothers or single fathers, or there are other people of other races that have multiple children by multiple people, multiple ways. There's some women that you meet and they have almost a child from every single race. I've seen a white woman who has a child from a black person, an Asian person, and a white person, right? Because white women get around more than black women, because they get most, I don't want to say they're desired by other races the most, but they make themselves readily available. And also at the same time, when white women, um what do I want to say, um white women are used to being with men of different races, and it's almost like, okay, people see it's accepted more. It's more acceptable to be with a white woman. Like people feel like, oh, I don't have to feel nervous or feel judged or feel like someone is gonna look at me differently if I'm with a white woman. But if you, as you get with someone darker, people, you get more looks, more questions, like, oh, why are they together? Or why did he choose her? Or why did she choose him? And and it's always a question mark when someone of a browner complexion decides that they want to explore their other options. Now, um, in terms of Chris Brown is not even a good looking man. In terms, and that's when I say good looking, I'm talking about from within. I'm not talking about so much without, because you can look at someone on the outside and they may look attractive, and then when they speak and then the way that they think will totally, change them in the opposite direction. So you might say, oh, you look at this person before they talk, they're a 7, right? Or 8, whatever it is, and then after that they talk and you realize, oh, they're an asshole, they're immature, they don't know what's going on, they believe the propaganda, they're sheep, they have no thought, they don't have their own thought process. With that said, Chris Brown is like a sheep. He's just like the head sheep. Like somebody is puppeting him. They got him on a string, puppeting him, telling him what to say, what to do, and these are the things they want him to go and say to the public. And those fans, those Chris Brown fans, are gonna follow whatever he says. Now, a lot of people are saying like, oh, um, they're saying that, oh, he's gonna lose a lot of money. Where? How are these people even making money to begin with? It's not like before where you had music videos. If you had a fan club, they had like swag, they had tickets. You could get into like a VIP area, like a little fan base area. Nobody's doing that anymore. You can't even get a poster. You could barely get posters of people. Remember when they used to have magazines? You could put posters up on your wall of all these celebrities. The only thing that they can make money from that I could see from the public is maybe going to a concert. And how many people do you know are going that have gone to a Chris Brown concert? You could let me know. I don't know anyone who's been to a Chris Brown concert. I went on Groupon last week and I saw that they had a concert with him, Tory Lanez, and some other people. And that concert at regular price is like $50 to $60 per person. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like to see Chris Brown, you're paying only $60 to see him. That's unheard of. And then on top of that, they discounted. Of course, it's on Groupon, so they discounted it to $35. And I said to myself, how much money is he really making from the public? I don't know how these people even. I don't know how they're making money. That's all I have to say. I have no idea how they're making money. In terms of, I don't know why dark skinned black women have a problem. I see a lot of beautiful dark skinned women, and actually the dark skin is, as long as it's pretty, meaning that, as long as it looks clean and it glows and stuff like that, they have very beautiful skin. And then the hair, what's wrong with Afro textured hair? I never felt, as a black woman, I never felt like I wanted another person's hair type. I never felt that way. I never said, "Oh my God, I love this other person of another race's hair so much that I hate my own hair." I never felt like that. I never hated my hair, my skin, or anything. And I don't know if it's because I was just raised to love myself, or even if I wasn't raised to, why should I walk this earth every single day hating myself? No one should have to go through that. So, Chris Brown, I don't have any strong thoughts about him. He needs to look in the mirror and ask himself, you know, what texture is his own hair? You hate yourself? Like, you have so much money, you look in the mirror every single day. I mean, he did something to his hair. I don't know what he did. He made it blonde and curly, and he put the chemicals in there, whatever, to try to make it look curly. But in his heart, he knows that when he looks down at his crotch, right, and he looks down at those hairs in between his legs, do not look like the hair that he created on his head. So when he talks about, oh, he only wants to mess around with black women who have um, a different textured hair than what is not common for black women, I don't know what to say. He doesn't like black women. Just say that. I'd rather you say I don't like black women sexually, or to have a family with, or to have any kind of thing. If that's the case, own it. Just own it. I will still listen to Chris Brown's music. You know why? Because I like to dance to the beat. I don't really care for his voice that much. He has like one of those high pitched voices, and he doesn't have that sweetness that he used to have when he first came out. When he first came out, he had, very sweet lyrics. I love his earlier albums when he first came out because he had a sweetness to him. I don't know if it's Rihanna or who broke his heart, but ever since that period where him and Rihanna had the breakup, he something happened, something snapped in him. That's when the sweetness that was in him completely disappeared, and now what you have now is someone who's demonic. When you look at him, look at the way he dances. Is that sexy? No, it's not sexy. It looks weird. It looks creepy. It looks like he's possessed. The way he moves his arms, the way his shoulder, the way his body is distorted. That is not sexy. That is like, okay, you can move your body in different ways, but are you dancing or are you a contortionist? Like, I don't know what you're trying to do, and you're not really doing the moves on beat. It's just very strange how he's made it this far, because the dancing is weird. Like, at first, when he first used to dance, it looked a little bit gay, and then on top of that, like, you look a little bit gay, you look a little bit weird, you look a little demonic, and then every time he makes himself look weirder and weirder. I don't know what he did to his head. He looks like a parrot now. Like, he has that parakeet kind of shit going on with his hair, and then he's coloring. I don't know if he even cut that. Then his new album, the animated photograph that they made of him, it's like he looks nearly like a white man. Like, he doesn't even look like a light skinned black guy. So that just tells you that even within himself, he feels like he wishes that he was completely white. And the thing about it is that if somebody looks at him, they might even think he's half white. I don't know if he's half white, but based off of his look, he has a look to him like there's obviously white somewhere in his blood. So it seems to me that he wishes that he himself was 100% Caucasian. And if you want, you should just say that. Why are you going to hate other women of another race, because you wish that you were white? Just say that. Listen, I don't want to associate myself so much with black women because I really want my children to experience a life that I didn't experience, meaning that I want them to experience life through a white person's eyes, not through the eyes of another black person. In this country, we need a lot of spiritual healing because a lot of outside forces are interfering with your inner thoughts. And the truth is that if you block all of these things out, the television, any of these, a lot of these nonsense celebrity media stuff that's out here, I mean, people really take a celebrity news to heart. These are people you don't know. They're not family. They're not friends. They don't pay your bills. They don't affect your day to day living. So unless you're like paparazzi and you're getting selling pictures to get thousands of dollars or whatever they're giving for photographs, if you're not working for TMZ or something like that, you should not be so caught up in celebrity news. At the end of the day, they're working hard to make whatever money. If it means taking your money, taking somebody else's money, whatever it is, that's what they're gonna do. Um, I have no bad thoughts on Chris Brown. It's the same thing with R. Kelly in his situation. I'm gonna still like the music just because they have a problem. That doesn't mean that they didn't have some kind of talent. And R. Kelly is very, very talented, even despite his situation. I'm not funding his activity. He's funding his own activity. If you're working to make music and you're getting paid to make music, and you use that money to go and fund your dirty habits, that's on you. That's not on me. That's not on the fans. That's not on anyone else around you. Because he made a decision to do that. It's the same thing with Chris Brown. He made a conscious decision to make the move that he's made, because a lot of people like Chris Brown, and a lot of men of other races like how he is and like to copy his style, copy the way he is. And I'm not talking about black men. I'm talking about like Italians and all these other white men that feel like they are, like of a stronger, um, background or whatever, they try to channel his energy. They like him. They like there's something about Chris Brown that those men like. So as long as he has their approval, he'll be just fine. I don't support these black men that are in the celebrity eye because a lot of them live in California and it's a totally Hollywood. It's all the same thing. And it's unfortunate that the rest of the country has to be forced to watch one area of the world. There's more there are other things going on in other states and other areas, but yet we're confined to seeing what's going on in Hollywood. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care about celebrities. I don't care about politics. Politics is also bullshit because you don't have control over that. As a person, you have zero control over what happens politically. It's all a game. When you watch sports, it's the same. It's all a game. Politics is a game. I don't care if they try to cut. I don't know what they're trying to do. Block stuff out. I would say it 10 times over. Politics is a game. You are playing yourself. There are two different votes. There's a public vote, and then there's the vote that comes from Congress. And guess what? Your public vote doesn't mean shit. A popular vote does not mean a goddamn thing. So what are you voting for? Right? Why are you going to vote? I'm not saying you have your choice. It's your American right to come out here and vote if you want to vote. I just want to know why. If I ask somebody why, all of a sudden, so many people they'll be so, like so offended. Oh, what do you mean this and what do you mean that and blah blah blah. What do you mean? Why are you voting? What are you getting back? Especially as a black person, what are you specifically getting back for you? All this talk of reparations, you know what reparation means? It means to repair nations. But I don't want to go on and talk about all these different topics. You have to be able to think critically. And if it doesn't make sense to you, why are you taking it in? You don't question stuff. You don't ask why. Why is this happening? Why do I feel this way? Why is this important? Why is this pushed on me to be something important when it means absolutely nothing? It doesn't mean anything, right? All you got to do is make sure that you can be able to care for yourself and project your way project yourself in the way that you want to project yourself in this world. If you want to be a tyrant, then so be it. If you want to be a caring person, a loving person, then so be it. But you have a decision to make, and that shouldn't be influenced by somebody else telling you should or shouldn't do something. This is something that you should say within yourself. I want to be this kind of person, right? I don't want to expose myself to this kind of thing. I don't want to be around this. Right now, we're in a state right now where people don't trust each other. People hate each other and they pretend to love each other. Um, love is based on a day-to-day thing. I love you today, I hate you tomorrow. I love black women today, I hate black women tomorrow. I hate white men, I love white men. And let me tell you something about women. Women in general to me are can be beautiful creatures. I don't care what the race is. There's beauty. I've seen beautiful women in all races, right? And I don't understand why as women we have to go against each other. We don't have to go against each other because of our differences. We should be embracing that. I should say to a white woman, I think you're attractive because, or I think you're a beautiful person because blah, 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 and feel okay with that. And say the same thing to somebody who looks just like me. Go up to another black girl and be like, oh, you have the most beautiful dark skin or the most beautiful light skin or whatever it is. There's beauty in all of us. And just because of our differences, we're using that as a way to divide each other. And this is something that we should be using to strengthen our sisterhood and bring each other closer to understand each other and have that kind of sisterhood bond. Sisterhood is a very strong and comforting thing if you don't have someone trying to do wicked things like sleep with your boyfriend, sleep with your husband, steal from you, and all this other stuff that I hear that's going on. So I don't want to get too much into that. You know, what Chris Brown said. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Look at his videos. 90% of the videos I've seen for Chris Brown have had mixed women, light women, and ambiguous women. I don't remember the last time that I've seen, oh, actually, I do remember the last time, but that was a female's video when I saw Megan the Stallion. She has a video with her and a whole bunch of beautiful black women in there. But at the end of the day, I don't need to be represented in this heavily sexualized rap uh, industry. And the rap, first of all, rap is trash now. It's the worst it's ever been. And why do you want to be represented in a music video where girls are bending over, shaking their ass, and all that other stuff? At the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you, when men get real old, they're not gonna care if you're slim, fat, or any of that shit. They're gonna be happy that you are in their lives and they are not alone. Because nobody in this world wants to be alone, and because no one wants to be alone, a lot of physical things are not going to matter in the end. You're going to just want to know that somebody's here, that you have somebody who's going to listen to you, that you have someone to talk to, where you have someone that you can care for, because people want to care for other people. And at the same time, yeah, so you guys will have be there to care for each other. You're not going to care. I saw yesterday, I saw this slim, like, he was a little bit geeky looking. I'm not gonna lie. He looked a little, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. He just had that look to him initially, right? He's a slim white guy. And he was with this very, very heavy set, unattractive white woman. By society standards, okay? When I say this, anything I say when it comes to the looks is by society standards. Because if you could train anyone to think that something is beautiful, even if it's not, okay? So anyway, aside from that, they were together. He looked happy. He was happy because he had somebody, and she's happy because she has someone. She doesn't care that he has whatever look, and he does not care that she has whatever look, because at the end of the day, can you imagine what life was like when they didn't have each other? So all this bullshit right here is nothing, right? If people want to come in there, yeah, you could look as good as you want, but one day you're gonna be old, one day you're gonna be ugly, one day you're gonna have health situations that you're gonna have to tend to, whether it's joint issues or whatever. Something is gonna deteriorate as you get older. It's just a part of life. And when you think about that, you're gonna have to make a choice. And don't be scrambling until at the very end, scrambling at 60 years old, trying to go and marry somebody at 60 because you couldn't make a choice for the first 50 years of your life. I see a lot of men do that. I see a lot of men, they wait until they can't get anything anymore. And then they're at the bottom of the bottom when they've hit their so-called wall, I guess, where they're not getting that frequency of women that they were getting, and it starts to dwindle down to like nearly nothing. Then they'll be like, oh my God, I need to just get somebody to marry, somebody to settle down with. And then they start scrambling at the end. And they start talking about, oh, so women hitting walls. I'm like, women are not going to really hit a wall, because men can't be without a woman's touch. Men cannot be without the hugs and kisses from a woman, and the tenderness and the affection and the care that a woman brings to their life. So if you think that women are going to ever hit a wall, they're not. Maybe in this country, in your eyes, they may hit a wall, but guess what? When they go overseas, they can go get someone. But I only mention that now because it's so funny. I was watching 90 Day Fiance the other way, and there's some cute looking guy from Qatar, right? Good looking, very attractive Indian type guy. I think he's Indian or Arab. I don't know if they're Arab or what they are in Qatar. I think it's Arab. And he's about to marry, I think the lady's like 70 years old. He loves her. He's like, I don't care about anything. He thinks that she's beautiful. He loves her. Guess what? If she stayed here in America looking the way she looks, she would be alone until she dies. So if you think that women care about hitting walls, they do not care about that, because somebody is going to love them, because guess what? They're going to realize that, oh, certain things are more important than looks. Family is more important than looks. Somebody who cares about you and loves you, is there for you. That's going to carry much more weight than if somebody has such and such look and such shape. That's why now I look at the world with different eyes. Before I used to say, oh, um, I used to break my neck trying to do so many different things. And I said, for who? For what? For what? I don't even care like that. I don't. I care just enough. Trust me. I don't care at all. But if you have somebody and they care about you, have someone that you can come to every day, not a cat, not a dog. Yeah, that's not a person. You can say whatever to like cat or dog, but they cannot respond to you, right? So at the end of the day, you're going to have to find somebody, and you're gonna have to accept their flaws and their faults, because no one out here is without them. So you got to pick your poison. Choose the person that you can care about the most, um, and see if you could deal with their faults. And if they can deal with if you can deal with their faults and they can deal with yours, it's a match right there. Forget about all the other stuff, because no one's going to be perfect. And over time, live together, things are going to change. Love changes. The way you guys interact with each other is going to change. All that is going to change, and the depth of the intensity of that love is going to transform into something else. So yeah, that's my thoughts on men. That's my thoughts on the music. And Chris Brown, good luck to Chris Brown, because he sold all those people in Hollywood. They've sold they've sold their souls to the devil, and everybody knows that. It's just that because it's in the public eye, no one wants to believe it. But they have sold their soul to the devil. And if you want to do that too, that's your choice. I guess you want to go over there and find out what it is. It's been a rise of a lot of sinful acts and quote unquote sinful acts. And at the end of the day, you can feel it in your heart when something is not right, when you say certain things to hurt people, and you try to say certain things to uplift another group. My whole thing is this: why does women of other races have to be uplifted so much to the point that you have to take one group of women and bring them all, try to bring them down? But black women, if they really see the truth, when you look in the mirror, you see the beauty that you have. And I'm not saying that, oh, one is better than the other. Like, well, it depends. If you have self love, you're gonna always think that your race is the most beautiful. If you have self love, if you have self hate, you're gonna think you hate yourself, and that's it. It's really that simple. So that's the end of my live. This is much longer than I wanted to do. I was trying to see if I could do a short 10-minute live, but I just felt strongly about talking about this because Chris Brown is just a human being. He's not a god. He doesn't owe us anything, and we don't owe him anything. And self love will teach you that you shouldn't be supporting Chris Brown. He can stay on my Spotify, but anything that requires me to spend money to support any of these black men who are celebrities, that you can tell by their action, not even their words. I mean, actions speak louder than words. You can see it by their action that if they had 1 minute they have a black wife, the next minute they divorce their black wives to get something different that's not black. At the end of the day, stop spending your money to support these black celebrities who are tearing the community down. If they're dating women of other races and you don't feel good about it, do your part. If one person adds up to 100, at the end of the day, they're not gonna have anything. A long time ago, I saw this. I've seen this with the celebrity, with in sports, with these basketball players and so on, football players, all of them. Then in golf, you have Tiger Woods. In his situation, you have O.J. Simpson, and the list goes on and on, right? Kevin Hart had his black wife. He got rid of his black wife and got another lady that was like black and Asian or whatever she is, right? It's like a club. It's like, in order for you to be part of the club, you can't be with a black woman. They've signed up for something because it's unusual. It's unusual. And then you have to remember too that if all these guys hang out, like let's say you're part of a football team and you're cool with all your teammates, and you guys hang out, you guys drink together, eat together, hang out together, and then one person has a white girl, another person has a white girl, another person has a white girl. You got to understand they all hang out together. So if they feel uncomfortable around a black woman, right? They're not gonna date a black woman, and that's what it comes down to. If you really look at things, you can't have five men and four of those men have white girlfriends, and then the fifth one has a black girlfriend. Then there's a Christmas party or some kind of barbecue and event, and you got those four white women and that one black woman. That one black woman is going to either somebody's going to feel uncomfortable. Either that black woman is going to be uncomfortable being in a situation where she's now forced to talk to only white women, or all these white women are going to feel funny talking to her, or somebody's going to be outcasted, or something is going to happen. So in order to keep the peace, they have to have all of the same type of girlfriend. If then Asians can get along with anybody. Asian women can get along with almost any kind of woman, right? So it's like it's safer if you're with a white woman. If you're dating, if all your friends are dating white or light skinned Latin women, or dated Asian women, majority of the time all those women are gonna get along because they all have like a similar way about them, or they know the etiquette, they know how to act in public, they know how to carry themselves a certain way, so they're going to be able to get along a little bit better. But when you have a black woman, I guess it's sketchy. I guess it's a sketchy situation. Are we all going to get along with this black female? Is she going to be too real? Like, is she going to come out and put everything? Because one thing I noticed is that, I'll see a lot of shit going on that's not right, but I'm not gonna um I'm not gonna be the one to point it out. Why do I have to, as the black person or the black woman, have to be the realist? Let somebody else be real. Let some other race of women speak up on the issue if there's a problem. If they're not speaking on it, I'm not speaking on it. You gotta start adapting that style. If it doesn't affect you directly, forget about it. Forget about it because you don't want to be the quote unquote realist one. If you want to be real with your own people as a black woman, fine. But don't come out here being real. Don't come out here being real talking all kinds of mess about this is not right and this is wrong, and you have to be the vocal one. A lot of these causes that are going on, like the Me Too movements and all these feminist things, they want to put black women as the face of it. It's really a white woman issue, but they want to put a black person up front for what? We don't have the same issues. What black women go through and what white women go through are totally different issues, right? They don't even live the life we live. They couldn't even live the life that we live. If they lived this life or lived the black life, they would have already killed themselves. They can't survive it. They can't. The petty bullshit that I hear them complain about is is crazy. Like, they couldn't even go to a third world country. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, I thought it was gonna be like America." Everything they want other countries and foreigners to bend to their way. They feel like something's wrong with you if you don't bend to their way. If you don't make them feel comfortable, why don't you make me feel comfortable? Why don't you set it up so that I can feel comfortable? I have to make you feel comfortable. It's your world. It's your world, and I have to make you feel comfortable. That doesn't even make any sense. That is a crazy. That's crazy to me. That is really nuts. So I mean, if they can't see the logic in that, like if you already own everything, run everything, everything is set by your standard, and I still have to make you feel comfortable, that's very strange. If anything, these people who run the government and run things and everything is bent in your favor, and those people who are in that situation where everything is made to be in your favor, the least you can do is make other people who come into this country or come into your space where you're the majority, right? You should be making them feel comfortable. You should be making them feel. I shouldn't. A person of another race shouldn't be surrounded by people of one group, and that one or those few that are there have to make the majority feel comfortable. All right. Anyway, that's it for the live. I could go on and on, but I'm not. Pretty much is the end of the live. Forget about these celebrities. Forget them. 90% of these black men, they don't even stick with the wife that they have now. They got another wife, another girlfriend. They got a wife, they got a girlfriend on the side. And a lot of times, if you have a lot of money, sometimes you don't, and if you have more money to spare, you're not gonna commit. Think about it. Put yourself in that situation. If you're a woman, you had a lot of money that you could completely take care of yourself. Would you ever deal with men? Maybe, maybe not. You don't have to. You don't have to. That's the point I'm trying to make. You don't have to if you don't want to. So I guess that's it. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't know. You have to look within yourself. It's a weird world out here. It's gonna be weird. People gonna say a lot of crazy stuff. They believe a lot of the propaganda. Nobody reads. No one looks into anything. A lot of people just regurgitate what everybody else says. And yeah, that's what happens. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining my live, and hopefully I'll come back again a little bit more prepared. I mean, excuse the eyebrows. I didn't even realize like how thick and crazy they're looking, but I'm not too bothered with that. I just noticed it. Right. So see you later. Bye.